What's up, Lantern fans? It's the Emerald Enthusiast, back with another Green Lantern comic book review. This time, I'll be looking at this copy of Green Lantern, Volume 2, Number 6, the first appearance of Tomar-Re. This is the first copy of this issue that I have ever seen in person. I recently went to a football game in Lexington, Kentucky, where I used to live. I was elated to see that a shop where I used to buy my comics over 25 years ago was still in business. And I was further delighted to see this gem on the wall of key issues. I'm going to take this comic out for an up-close, detailed look at this Silver Age issue. But before I do that, here's a review of the story, The World of Living Phantoms. An alarm goes off on the planet Aku, where the inhabitants live as thought images, separate from their physical bodies. The Akuians have achieved a type of immortality this way. However, they're defenseless as they're threatened. On the nearby planet of Zudar, a Green Lantern becomes aware of Aku's emergency. And here we see the first ever printed images of Tomar-Re. Unfortunately, Tomar is already dealing with monsters invading Zudar, so he in turn has to call for help. In an early display of the versatility of a Green Lantern ring, Tomar is able to communicate with the Green Lantern of Earth, Hal Jordan. Hal has to run off and deal with this emergency before his date with Carol Ferris, and this furthers the storyline of their complicated relationship. Hal soon learns that some of the evil aspects of Aku have gained sentience. Powered by a device called a gravity hive, their plan is to destroy the physical bodies that spawn them. These evil thought images initially thwart Hal Jordan's attempt at a rescue by increasing the gravity around him to the point where Hal is immobilized. Hal counters by making an energy duplicate from his ring. This energy duplicate flies to the gravity hive. The Green Lantern duplicate uses its ring to overload the gravity hive and rid Aku of the evil mind images. However, Hal is still pinned to the ground by the effects of a gravity gun even after he reunites with his energy duplicate. In a wild, wacky display of power, Hal Jordan creates 20 duplicates of himself, each with their own power ring, to counteract the effects of the increased gravity. Hal deduces that the initial malfunction of Aku's mental switchboard was due to two Akuian lovers. As they longed for one another, their thought images had become entangled, and this caused the problem with the mental switchboard. Hal restores their mobility, and the two lovers embrace, now physical beings in the world of living phantoms. Hal then flies to Zudar to assist Tomar-Re with the monster invasion. However, his ring charge is running low. The uniformity of the Green Lantern Corps is illustrated here as Hal Jordan is able to recharge his ring using Tomar-Re's personal power battery. Hal and Tomar work in tandem to defeat several of these giant space monsters. This also served as an indicator of the vast nature of the Green Lantern Corps. Tomar shares some information about the odd, secretive Guardians of the Universe before Hal departs Zudar and returns to Earth. The story concludes with an offended Carol Ferris attempting to make Hal jealous by telling him that Green Lantern had asked her out not long after he had left. At this point, she was still unaware that Hal Jordan and Green Lantern were one and the same. I always make sure that I wash my hands thoroughly before handling any valuable comic book. And now I am very carefully taking this issue out. And from 63 years ago, here we have Green Lantern Volume 2, number 6. And now let's have a look at the back cover. And I often find these very interesting as well. And on the back bottom, we have this war scene artwork as a part of an advertisement for toy soldiers. And on the back top, we also have this advertisement for a toy Frontier cabin. Only $1, it says. And I requested that the shop owner actually take this comic out of the bag before I bought it, so I could make sure that the staples were still attached to the cover. And when I saw that the cover was still intact, that sealed the deal for me. And now I'm going to very gently open this and give you a look at the pages inside. Getting a Silver Age comic like this always feels like time travel to me. I try to imagine all of the people who might have enjoyed this comic book over 6+ decades. And now for a closer examination of the cover. There's definitely some damage here on the lower part of the spine. There's a little discoloration here in the middle of the cover, although I think that might be a printing error. However, the cover is still very vibrant, especially given the time period. There is some fading around the top right-hand corner of the cover, and there's a better look at that. And there's a very small rip in the top left-hand corner of the cover. Now, I'm not a grader, but my guess is that this would be a CGC 2.5 or possibly a 3. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this review, and until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.